Hey everybody, glad to be here in week 7 with you all. Nearly there. I'm excited to introduce to you the Vater Percussion Strike Your Narrative campaign. The goals of the campaign are to increase brand awareness, establish long-term relationships with customers. My thinking there is if Vater customers see that the brand itself identifies so heavily with people who love music, there might be a bond there. And then also for the brand to capitalize on an opportunity to represent the best interest of their customers, many of whom are pretty young. The target audience of this campaign includes customers ages 14 to 23. 14 is generally the first point of contact with performance arts, and 23 is the upper limit of Winter Guard International. The key message of the Strike Your Narrative campaign encourages consumers who value their uniqueness to associate with the brand. Music and performance are deeply personal, and this campaign aligns with a growing trend of young consumers who prefer to do business with brands that stand for inclusivity. Right now, the campaign is only ported to YouTube. It's not formatted for other social media platforms, but that would be really interesting to explore. The tone of voice throughout this campaign, going for a wholesome, educational, friendly tone throughout both forms of the video. Hopefully it really sings through. The only mandatory element that I had listed in my creative video brief was the tagline itself. Everything else I was pretty comfortable with. Collaboration, innovation. I was really fortunate to get a lot of help from the individual that I interviewed. He had a lot of creative ideas and it ended up working out really well. Okay, thanks so much for listening to this voiceover. Now I'd like to present to you the Strike Your Narrative campaign. I remember a ton of firsts musically. My first marching performance was on a muddy field in the pouring rain. My first teaching job was straight out of high school, and I was awful at it. Or I guess just nervous. The first person I ever saw drum live, though, was my brother. And I was hooked from then on. I've always said my brother cleared the path for me musically, and then I just walked down it. Continuing to play and teach is the best extension of my love and passion for music. If you need a place to feel proud and grow, performance arts are where it's at. Let's go ahead and take it from the top. As a band director, what does having the correct equipment mean for both you and your students?
Sound model is paramount, and having kids sound like what they hear whenever they listen to a DCI core, when they listen to a drummer get behind his kid on YouTube, or what they hear when they listen to the album. It's crucial. They want to be able to emulate that sound to sound like what they hear. Having the correct equipment, it's everything for music education. It's not just about having stuff that's going to be long lasting, but having stuff that's going to make the kids sound as good as they're playing.
Fans, please welcome the 2023 Elkins High School Drumline.
Would you agree that your students develop an expectation about their equipment as they continue their education?
Absolutely. I hold to it that students can be some of the harshest critics of equipment for percussion, their sticks, their heads, even down to the music stands. Students know quality when they see it. And whenever they get to experience quality in terms of equipment, they want to buy into that. And, it's a motivating factor for them. They want to play more, they want to practice more whenever they feel like they're pulling the best.
How does the relationship between yourself and the brands you prefer as an educator influence your decision?
When you take a step back and you look at rural America, resources, especially for band, a lot of them have to be fundraised. So we have to get it right. The brands that we trust, the brands we know are going to work, it's a no-brainer. You got to keep going back to them.
When it
comes to percussion and the equipment involved, what are some of the characteristics that you value most?
So I think that really it's about durability, dependability, and honestly feel. So like, is it gonna last? Every time that a kid hits that drum head, you're taking a little bit off the life of the stick. How long is that lifespan gonna be? Dependability, every time they hit that drum head, I want it to sound just like the first time that they hit that drum head. With some sticks, it's really easy for that lifespan to start to wear on sound as well. Lastly, feel. They gotta be comfortable for the kid to be able to be motivated to continue to use them, not just when we're playing as a whole band, but whenever they're sitting at home. I think that, making sure that they're gonna last, making sure that they're gonna sound great. I gotta be honest with you, I didn't know much about Vater percussion until recently. But after looking at the artists that have bought one, the musicians that have put their stamp of approval on them, and now being able to play with them, being able to put them in my students' hands, the experiences that they've had with them, it's really easy to build trust on good experience. And I've had nothing but good experiences so far.
The West Virginia State Champion of Drumline goes to Elkins High School.